Think you know anxiety? 5 lies you've been told about GAD. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I'm seriously glad you're here, because today we're going to tackle something a lot of people think they understand, but most totally don't. We're diving into the truth behind generalized anxiety disorder, also known as GAD, and busting 5 of the most common myths people believe about it. Whether you deal with anxiety yourself, or you're just trying to better understand someone in your life who does, this video is going to shine a bright light on the things we get wrong about anxiety, especially the stuff people rarely talk about. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll see GAD in a whole new way. All right, let's kick it off with a myth that refuses to die. Generalized anxiety disorder is just worrying too much. On the surface, it sounds innocent enough, right? I mean, we all worry about bills, jobs, relationships, the economy, the weather ruining our weekend plans. But GAD isn't just your average overthinking. It's not being dramatic or thinking too hard. It's a clinical disorder, and it runs way deeper than simple concern. People with GAD experience persistent, uncontrollable worry that can latch on to almost anything. Health, safety, deadlines, whether they lock the door, whether someone is mad at them, or whether they said something weird 5 days ago. These thoughts don't just come and go. They stick around, looping constantly, often for no rational reason at all. And even when the person knows their fears are irrational, they can't turn it off. That's the key difference. This kind of worry is mentally exhausting and can cause physical symptoms too. Tightness in the chest, tension headaches, digestive issues, and full body fatigue. So no, GAD is not just worrying a little too much. It's a chronic condition that deserves way more understanding than it usually gets. Now, this one might sound familiar. Just calm down. Relax. Don't let it get to you. If only it were that simple, right? For people with GAD, being told to calm down is like being handed a tiny cup of water and told to put out a forest fire. It's not only unhelpful, it's dismissive. You see, GAD triggers your body's fight or flight response over and over again, often when there's no actual threat. Your brain is convinced there's a problem, and your nervous system responds as if something dangerous is happening. It's not about a person choosing to be anxious. It's a biological reaction. This can lead to muscle tension, rapid heartbeat, difficulty breathing, and a general feeling that something terrible is about to happen, even if everything looks fine on the outside. Yes, long-term techniques like breathing exercises, therapy, and mindfulness can help manage anxiety. But during a full-blown anxiety spiral, telling someone to just chill out feels more like a slap than support. Instead, try being present. Ask what they need. Offer comfort without trying to fix everything. The goal is compassion, not control. Here's a myth that needs to go. Kids can't have GAD. That's an adult problem. This is flat out false. In fact, generalized anxiety disorder often starts in childhood or adolescence. But because kids show anxiety in different ways, it's often missed or misdiagnosed. Children with GAD might be constantly afraid of failing at school, overly concerned about their family's safety, or worried about future events that other kids wouldn't think twice about. It could show up as perfectionism, irritability, stomach aches, or trouble sleeping. And instead of expressing their fear clearly, they might act out, withdraw, or cry easily, leading adults to believe they're just being difficult or sensitive. Left untreated, childhood anxiety doesn't just disappear. It can grow into deeper issues in adulthood. That's why recognizing GAD in young people is so important. Early support, like therapy, reassurance, and understanding, can make a massive difference in how that child copes and grows. Now, let's address one of the most toxic myths of all. People with anxiety are weak. This couldn't be more wrong. In fact, many people who struggle with GAD are some of the strongest and most resilient individuals you'll ever meet because they fight invisible battles every single day. Imagine carrying around a constant sense of dread while still showing up to work, parenting your kids, maintaining friendships, or trying to meet deadlines. People with GAD are often perfectionists, people pleasers, high achievers, because they've had to work overtime just to feel normal. That's not weakness. That's strength wrapped in a quiet storm. It takes courage to confront fear. It takes determination to seek help. And it takes grit to get out of bed when your brain is working against you. People living with GAD aren't overly emotional or too sensitive. They're brave. They're fighting a war most people can't see and still moving forward. Let's retire this myth once and for all and replace it with something better. Compassion and respect. Let's get real about medication, shall we? One of the most persistent myths out there is that taking medication for anxiety means you failed. Ugh. No. Taking medication isn't giving up. It's taking ownership of your mental health. For some people, therapy is enough. For others, a combination of therapy and medication is what actually gives them the ability to function, to think clearly, and to live their life without feeling trapped in their own mind. It's not about masking the problem. It's about balancing the chemical imbalances that might be making things worse. The brain is an organ, just like the heart or lungs. If you needed medication for high blood pressure or asthma, no one would judge you. So, why does mental health still carry this weird stigma? If a person takes meds and it helps them live a fuller, freer life, that's a win. Full stop. Medication isn't a last resort. It's one of many tools that can empower people with GAD to live better, not smaller. So, we've gone through 5 big myths about generalized anxiety disorder, and hopefully cleared up some misconceptions along the way. GAD is more than worry, more than nerves, and absolutely more than weakness. It's a condition that impacts millions of people around the world, and one that deserves real understanding, not outdated stereotypes. If you relate to anything in this video, or if you know someone who's struggling, just know this. You're not alone. There are people who care, professionals who can help, and strategies that can make life not just bearable, but meaningful again. Whether that's therapy, medication, mindfulness, or simply talking about it. The first step is recognizing that what you're going through is valid. The more we talk openly about mental health, the less isolated people feel. And the less shame there is, the more healing becomes possible. Let's keep that conversation going. If this video helped you understand GAD a little better, or maybe even help you feel seen, please give a like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button to join our mental health community. This channel, at Zacaprat, is all about real talk, breaking down stigma, and making mental health more accessible to everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself, be gentle with your mind, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.